I have no doubt that commencing any relationship anywhere in the world carries a certain amount of risk. But when we start a relationship with a woman from the Philippines, the risk increases significantly in many ways. But equally, one must also know that there is much to be gained by being in a relationship with a Filipina. So in this video, I'm going to take a hard look at the risk versus reward in your Foreigner Filipina relationship, and I'll call it exactly as I see it, based on my own lived experience, as well as what others have told me over the past few years right here on this channel. So be sure to stay with me here. No one ever goes into a relationship with the thought that it may not last. Well, at least, that's not an ideal approach. But one must be realistic when we're talking about commencing a relationship with a Filipina. There are some risk factors involved that you really need to be aware of and really consider if such a relationship is for you. Now, this is not to try and scare you off dating a Filipina, because I know for a fact how finding the right Filipina is absolutely amazing. But you need to be prepared for certain difficulties and uncertainties along the way, especially if you've never been in a relationship with a Filipina before. My hope with this video is by the time you've finished watching, you'll have many things to consider, so you may realise if commencing a relationship with a Filipina is a good fit for you. I just don't want people going into this with the wrong expectations or not willing to put in the work that's required to build the relationship as you move forward. The first risk involved, of course, is around finding out if the Filipina is actually into you or more into what you can give her. Now, we all know that there are Filipinas out there looking to make money from you, so one must be prepared. But more so, there are many genuine Filipinas who are looking for a good and decent man to share her life with, and I guarantee you they can be found if you're fully prepared. There is a risk here in not identifying that a Filipina may be playing you, and I've heard of cases where this has gone on for years, with the man sending her a good sum of money each month and even buying her a house and a business or two, whilst all along she never had the slightest interest in him for a real relationship. Another risk involved here, when the relationship commences online and you spend much time apart from each other, is around trust. Now, when one starts a relationship, you don't, or really shouldn't, give your full trust straight away. This comes over time in getting to know each other and seeing for yourself the type of person that she really is. What can happen, and I know does happen sometimes, is there can be somewhat a divide in a person's mind around their relationship with you and being so far away from you, and the want for the physical need that we all have. Different people have different limits around how long they can go without real human affection and love. And for some, this need over time becomes so strong that they may justify to themselves that having a local relationship with another person to fill that need whilst waiting to be with you permanently. And so essentially, they have an affair. And yes, guys, this does happen in the Philippines. And this is why I say to visit your Filipina in the Philippines as soon as possible, and then try to be with each other as much as possible until you guys are together permanently. As I say, everyone has their limits. And if a Filipina has to wait to be with you for, say, 18 months or longer, then at what point will her need for love and affection override her want to be loyal and honest? All this distance and time apart for some can lead to paranoia. So if you're a guy who may be a little prone to over-worrying or at times a little paranoid, then being in a relationship with a Filipina may not be a good choice for you unless you can physically go to the Philippines for several months to specifically date and find the right Filipina for you. I've heard on many occasions how being overly suspicious and paranoid from either the foreign guy or the Filipina has been the downfall of the relationship. So it does take an amount of trust, which I say should grow over time, and for you to keep a clear mind to keep things rolling along smoothly with your Filipina. You can't be one of those people always asking where she was every minute of the day and why she was 10 minutes late to chat with you online. Again, if you're prone to these sorts of things, then think carefully before starting a relationship with a Filipina or anyone long distance for that matter, as it most likely won't end well. But for those of you who can honestly say that you can manage such a relationship and the thoughts and doubts that may constantly creep into your mind, then I'm here to tell you from personal experience that being in a relationship with a genuine Filipina is the most awesome relationship that you'll ever experience. And most certainly, it's worth all the time and effort that you'll spend to create this relationship with her. And of course, she also needs to be willing to put in much time and effort, which I have no doubt that all genuine Filipinas will do for sure. When I look back at where I was prior to meeting my wife to where I am now, not only am I a happy man, but I'm the most content that I've ever been in my entire life. And boy, is that a great feeling to have. I had never experienced true contentment before, and this is because my wife and I work together as a team in all directions of our relationship, and the trust that has grown over time to where we fully trust and love each other. And any worries or challenges that may come our way, we know we can face them together and get through them. When you reach true contentment, it's like the weight of the world is removed from your shoulders and you feel somehow totally free. Before meeting and marrying my wife, I had no idea of what this felt like or that it even existed. And my relationship with my wife is 100% responsible for this. It's certainly something that I never want to lose, and continue to work on our relationship each day to ensure my wife and I are happy and our relationship remains strong. So most certainly there are some extra risks in starting a relationship with a Filipina. This can't be denied. These risks, however, can be limited by doing your homework and knowing the difference between a genuine and non-genuine Filipina, which I have plenty of videos around this in my playlist section on my channel. You can be certain that if one races in unprepared, then having a good outcome becomes far more risky. So do what you need to do to prepare fully and look honestly at yourself to decide if you can handle those extra challenges that we spoke about when dating a Filipina from oceans apart. And if you decide that you want to do the work and experience an awesome relationship like never before, then be sure to check out my affiliate link to the Philippines' #1 dating site to commence your search. My link is in the pinned comment and description. And be very sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.